Hi all, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ratnakishore. In this video, I will explain you how to access command line arguments in Python. Let's start the topic. First, we will see what are the command line arguments. These are the arguments that are passed to the program from the command prompt while executing that program. Now I will show how to pass the arguments from the command prompt to the Python program. See here, I am considering an example program abc.py. I am going to run this from command prompt by using the Python interpreter. I am passing the arguments here arg1, arg2, etc. These arguments must be separated by this space. Now within the Python script abc.py, we need to have a mechanism to access all these arguments to perform certain tasks. We know that Python is having inbuilt module sys. In that sys module we have a variable argv. That argv variable contains all the command line arguments that we pass while executing the program. Now I am clearly considering argv variable in sys module. As I mentioned earlier, this argv variable in sys module contains all the arguments that we pass from the command prompt. It will contain those arguments as a list of strings. That means basically this argv variable is a list. That list will have strings. Those strings are nothing but arguments that we pass from the command prompt. If you observe that argv list, the first element in that list is nothing but name of the file. And the second element onwards we can get the arguments that we passed. If we want to know how many arguments are passed from the command prompt, we can make use of len function in Python. Remember that len function gives the length of entire argv list. That means that length includes the file name. If we want to access the individual arguments, then we can make use of indexing with list. Now I am considering an example. From the command prompt, I am running the file fullname.py by using the Python interpreter by passing two arguments. The first argument here is Ratna and the second argument is Kishore. If I do that, argv list will contain three elements in it. Here the first element in that list is file name, in our case fullname.py. Second element is argument 1, which is Ratna, and the third element is argument 2, which is Kishore. See, all these elements are strings. Now I can access the file name by using index 0. Then argv of 0 gives us the name of the file. In the same way, by using the index 1, we can access the argument 1. Argv of 1 gives us the first argument, that is Ratna. In the same way, argv of 2 gives us the second argument, that is Kishore. Now within the script I can get the full name as argv of 1 concatenated with argv of 2. Since argv of 1 and argv of 2 both are strings, I will get the full name as a string. Now I am considering another example where I am running the script sum.py and I am passing three integers 10, 20, 30. Because of that, argv list contains total 4 elements in it. As usual, the first element is nothing but the name of the script, that is sum.py, and the second element in that list is first argument, that is 10, which is available as a string, and the third element is nothing but the second argument, which is string 20, and fourth element is string 30. Now I can access the script name by using argv of 0. By using argv of 1, I can access the first argument. I can access the second argument by using the index 2 and the last argument by using index 3 here. Suppose now we want to compute the sum of all the integers passed as an arguments. If you carefully observe here, the list is having these values as strings. So in order to compute the summation, we need to convert these strings to integers. That's why I am using the int function to convert these strings to integers. If I want to access the argument 1 from this list, I need to use the index 1. That's why I am using argv of 1. After that, I am converting that argv of 1 into integer. Then this part returns integer 10 plus I am accessing argv of 2. Argv of 2 gives us the second argument, that is passed, which is string 20. That is converted to integer by using this int function. Plus here I will get integer 30 because of this. In that way we can convert these strings into integers and then we can perform some computation on those integers. Now we will see all these examples practically by using the Python scripts. Now I am opening the first script by using the notepad. The script name is cla1.py, and this program is to display the number of command line arguments that are passed while executing the program. See here, the first statement is importing of argv variable from the sys module, and then I am displaying the argv list, and then I am displaying the name of the file which is available as the first element in that argv list that I am accessing with the index 0. Since in that list the first element is the name of the file and the remaining elements are the arguments that are passed, we can get the number of arguments passed as the length of that entire list minus 1. Then I have displayed that length of entire list argv minus 1, that gives us the number of arguments passed. Then I am going to command prompt to run this program. Here I am calling the Python interpreter to run the script cla1.py. Now here I am passing some values 10, 20, 30. If I press enter, here first the list is displayed. See, the argv list is having the name of the file as the first element, and the remaining elements are nothing but arguments that we passed 10, 20, 30. These are available as strings. After that I have displayed argv of 0, which is nothing but the name of the file. I got cla1.py, and the number of arguments passed here 3, because I displayed the length of that argv list minus 1. Here the length of that argv list is 4, minus 1 gives us 3. That 3 represents the number of arguments passed. Next I am considering another script that I am opening by using the notepad. The name of the script is cla2.py, and this is the script to display the full name by accepting the first name as well as last name from the command prompt. So in this script, the first statement is from sys import argv variable, and then I am using a full name as a variable, and then I am accessing the first argument that I passed, which is available as a second element in the argv list that I have accessed by using the index 1, and then I am accessing the second argument which is available as a third element in that argv list. Its index is 2. Then I am using argv of 2. Here the concatenation will be performed. The first argument and the second argument both are concatenated to provide a full name. That full name I am displaying. Now I am running this script, Python, file name is cla2.py. Now I am passing two arguments, one is for first name, another one is for the last name. First name is Ratna. I am passing the last name as Kishore. I am pressing the enter. Then I got the full name Ratna Kishore. Now I am opening the another script by using the notepad, cla3.py. So this is a script to display the sum of 3 floating point values received from the command prompt. That means we are going to pass 3 floating point values from the command prompt. Now we have to display the sum of all those 3 floating point values. For that I have imported the argv list from the sys module, and then I am accessing the first argument by using the index 1. Since that is available as a string, I am converting that string to the floating point value by using a built-in float function. I am doing the same thing for the second argument, which is having the index 2 in the argv list, and same for the third argument as well, which is having the index 3 in the argv list. And then I am displaying the sum of all the 3 floating point numbers. Let me run this from the command prompt. Here I am passing 3 floating point values. 45.8 is the first floating point value, 34.98 and 100.0. If I press enter, then I got the sum as 180.78. Finally, I am going to open another script, cla4.py. Here this script is used to find out the sum of all the integers passed from the command prompt. That means here we are not specifying the number of integers that we are going to pass from the command prompt. So dynamically we have to get the number of integers passed to the script from the command prompt. See what I am doing here. First I am importing argv list from the sys module, and then I am going to find out the length of that list by using len function. Then I got that length of the list into n variable. After that I am taking a variable total, and then I am initializing it with 0, and then I am running a for loop with I as a variable. Then I will take the range of values from 1 to n. Since the range function stop value is exclusive, it will consider the values from 1 to n minus 1. So here 1 to n minus 1 are the indices now. By using these indices, we are going to access the values present in that argv list. We already know that at index 0 we have the name of the file. We should not use that name of the file to find out the sum of values here. That's why I'm excluding the index 0 in the range function. Then the sequence of integers generated by this range function would be 1 to n minus 1. Those are the indices for our arguments. Then I am going to access each argument present in that argv list by using the I as index. Since all these arguments are available as strings in that argv list, we are converting that string into integer by using int built-in function. And after the iterations are over, the total variable will have the sum of all the arguments that we passed, and then after the termination of that for loop, I am displaying that total value. Let me run this program. Python, file name is clj4.py. Now I am passing some integers as arguments. I am passing 10, 20, 30, 40 as integers. Then I am pressing enter. Then I got the sum as 100. 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40, which gives us 100. So in that way we can make use of argv list variable, which is available in sys module, to get the command line arguments which we have passed while executing the program. That's it guys. I will meet you with a new concept soon.